Welcome back. It's still Good Morning Nigeria, live on the network service of the NTA, and it's time to share a story that speaks to the heart, literally and figuratively, one that brings science, compassion, and hope together in a powerful way.
Well, this time we're taking our attention to a dedicated work being done at Nizamiye Hospital, particularly in caring for premature babies and performing life-saving surgeries, including cardiac procedures on our tiniest citizens.
It's a conversation that touches on one of the most delicate health challenges in Nigeria, infant mortality, and the bold steps being taken to change that narrative through innovation and expertise.
So with us in the studio is Professor Ibrahim Yannis, who is the medical director at Nizamiye Hospital. Doctor, thank you very much for coming on Good Morning Nigeria.
Thank you. Good morning, Nigeria.
All right, let me also welcome Lawan Tahir, who is a consultant specialist in pediatrics at the same facility. It's a pleasure to welcome you to Good Morning Nigeria.
Thank you. Good morning, Nigeria.
And of course, completing the panel is Mr. Mohammed Abubakar, Director of Operations at Nizamiye's Hospital. It's a pleasure to have you.
Good morning.
All right, let me begin with you, Prof. Your hospital has quite the reputation for advanced medical care. So could you talk us through, provide our viewers with an overview of the key areas where your institution is pushing the boundaries of medical innovation and how this translates to improved patient outcomes?
Thank you so much. As Nizamiye Hospital, respectfully greet all Nigerian people, and we are very happy to be here. So, Nizamiye Hospital, more than 10 years, we are giving the high medical service in Abuja, and every year we have increased and expand our service, especially some special problem like a cardiac problem, neonatal, care, and we are focusing to this special area. So, especially in surgery departments, we are using the mini-invasive technique, and we are using the cut technology and highly the skilled physicians and team. So 10 years we are giving to this service, but every year we are increasing our the service quality and expand the hospital. I want to give some sample, especially about the cardiac issue in Nigeria is the big problem. And in Nizamiye, we have 3 interventional cardiologists full-time. We are giving the service 24 hours and 7 days. If any cardiac issue, you can reach our consultant every time, 24 hours, 7 days. And also the cath lab is ready. In 15 minutes, if any urgent problem, Nizamiye Hospital is ready with all team. So it's a big difference and big chance for this kind of problem. So also not only the medical care, if the patient needs the surgery, open heart surgery, we are doing open heart surgery, and our team is ready in Abuja, in Nigeria, inside our compound. And if any emergency cases, 15 minutes, our team is ready. There's a big chance if in any emergency cases. So also I want to give some small brief about some mini-invasive technique, especially interventional radiology. The technology gives us some chance to manage some, the difficult problem, to solve the difficult problem, especially the deep brain aneurysm or some cancer. And we can, apply the interventional procedures like coil technique or chemoembolization. And we are doing all this treatment in Nizamiye Hospital. And if the open surgery need in brain surgery, for example, also we have the very dedicated team. We can do open brain surgery for the some special...
Open brain?
Yes. So we are using the high technology, the microscope and the laser technology and the, also ultrasonic some devices. This technology gives us big opportunity, but the Nizamiye has a big power with the medical team. We have almost 60 full-time consultant doctors. You can reach the all doctors 24 hours, 7 days if you need. So it's a big difference. So
of course,
we are very happy.
From what you have said, I mean, Nizamiye Hospital is in the business of saving lives with the team that you have and all the equipment that you have, you know, taking care of, you know, healthcare of Nigerians. Fantastic. I'd like to get to Dr. Tahir now, who is a pediatrician. That's a very sensitive aspect, of course. When you talk about child mortality, it's a big issue in Nigeria. And then looking at the fact that the hospital has a history of not just taking care of babies that are full-term, babies that are premature also get to survive and come out kicking and doing great things in life. Speak to us really, as an expert in that field, what is different at Nizamiye that makes it stand out in terms of pediatric care?
Thank you very much. Today's practice of medicine, independent of whatever subspecialty, if you don't have the technical support, you don't have the requisite equipment, you don't have the gadgets required, even if you have the expertise, delivering service will be difficult. And that's what Nizamiye has been able to achieve. We have the expertise, we have 3 full-time consultant pediatricians and 2 part-time, making 5 available 24/7. Now we have all the gadgets required. These babies, especially preterm babies, we are able to ventilate them, take through all their requirements. Imagine a human being that will require 0.5 meals of food per hour. You need a gadget that will deliver that precisely. So those equipment make a lot of difference in achieving whatever target you want to achieve. And that's why we're able to beat even the so-called viability period. Legally in Nigeria, up to now, we are talking about 28 weeks gestation before you can say a baby is viable. But from our experience, especially the very recent experience, we've had 23-weeker survive with no complication and doing well.
What inspired the hospital's strong focus on neonatal and cardiac areas of specialty?
If you are talking of, at the beginning of the discussion, you talked about infant mortality. Now, the greatest contributor of infant mortality is prematurity. Therefore, if you have to tame or reduce infant mortality, you must provide for neonatal care, and neonatal care, especially the very high-risk group, which are the preterms. So these mortalities, for some people, it will look like a statistics. You say, okay, we have 0.01% mortality. Remember, that 0.01% is just a figure, but to the person involved is 100%. To that soul involved is 100%. If you lose that soul, it's 100% for that particular soul. Therefore, there is need to pay attention to that single soul that will require that help and give that soul the best opportunity to survive and perform optimally.
All right, let's get to Mr. Abubakar now. You know, you are in charge of operations, and I'm thinking that you work behind the scene, but of course you're doing all that the doctor requires, you know, at his ward and all of that, and all the doctors and the team of consultants that you have to do the jobs. Tell us, what investment is this hospital making that makes it really stand out? And speak to us about some of your operational strategies that makes you know, everything function optimally at Nizamiye.
Okay, thank you. for this question. So, what makes earlier they mentioned, what makes hospital to be a hospital? One, you have a good doctors, and two, you must have a good equipment, cutting edge equipment. Then you have a good, operational system. So when we started the hospital 2014, so before the operation, we opened the hospital. We have to sit down first and look at the, put a structure that will actually drive the hospital to next level. So we started with a few clinics. Then today, we started with 11 clinics. Today we have close to 48 clinics. And secondly, in terms of staffing, we don't actually relax on that. So we look at time to time the areas that we need to, improve training and everything daily. And also, like, for example, the doctors that he's doing, Dr. Tahil just mentioned that we have pediatrics, 5 pediatrics. And, in hospital, to have a full-time 3 pediatrics is not an easy, actually. It's a huge investment. It's not even one doctor. Some hospitals, they cannot retain as a full-time doctor, but we have 3 full-time doctors and 2 on-call doctors. So what we actually want, that anytime you call on us, that you get whatever you want, not that, okay, you call, okay, I have a problem. We said, okay, the consultant will see you in so.
That's why I'm going to ask, how do you ensure seamless and timely interventions when people need it? Of course, cost also plays a role in all of this.
In all of this, yes. So these are the things where we have, like, maybe time to time ask questionnaire, okay, from seeing a doctor to lab, all this, how many minutes you spend, because at the end of the day, we have to look at the areas where actually we are holding.
You have lapses.
Yeah, lapses, and this one we work with the HODs, weekly to see how to resolve all these things. And for the equipment that we are talking about to make the the hospital moving, we just completed 10 years, and almost all the equipment in the hospital we have to renew them. As technology is coming out, you have to go with innovations are coming every day. New technologies are coming out. So if you are not, actually,
you don't want to be left behind.
So you be at the back. So because of that, we have to every day invest. And
it must cost a fortune to be at
Nizamiye. One of the actually disadvantages of us in business in Africa is you cannot get, like, maybe a long time like loan or with the companies. In developed countries, you don't remove money, cash, and buy equipment. But here, you have to buy. And another thing, the expertise for, like, maintenance. And that's one of the issues. We have to be working day and night on it, because
that you have mentioned day and night leads me to the question in my mind. I don't know whether it's you or the MD that would respond to that. I'm just thinking that the Japa syndrome is with us, but with the number of consultants that you have mentioned that you have in your pool, I'm thinking, what is Nizamiye doing to keep the qualified doctors, nurses, lab technicians, and all that you have? What are you doing to keep them and to work to function optimally? What is trending at the moment is that of medical personnel in the facility who didn't want to respond to a patient. But I think Nizamiye is very different. So
actually, the Java syndrome is affecting everyone in the health sector. That's number one. But still, we create a environment where they feel like, okay, if I travel out, what is more there than
what you get here?
Yeah, get here. So that is number one. And two, Yeah, there are still some troubling, but that is the reason why we insist bringing in some doctors, actually, even from abroad, coming back to Nigeria. So we show them, okay, these people are coming from where you want to go, so why are you going there? So that means there's something here. If you stay, you can get. For example, Dr. Tahir was
He's
with
smiling.
the government.
He's smiling. It means he's very comfortable at Nizamiye.
Yes. We started with him 2013, and today he's here with us.
You've also been there since 2013?
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, Prof,
Yes.
looking ahead, what's the vision for the future, especially when it comes to capacity building and expansion of services?
Yes, as at Nizamiye Hospital, we believe everybody needs to high-quality medical care. So this is the human rights. If you need some medical care, everybody wants to the best. So our target, we improve the all service every year because the medical, the sector is improving every day. So it's a very difficult job, but we focused two things. One of them, the high-quality doctor. If we find a high-quality doctor, we, spend the money. We don't, hesitate to spend the money for the doctor. For example, now we are bringing new cardiovascular surgeon from Spain, and he's a very high-quality doctor doing all kind of surgery, but it's not cheap. It's too expensive for the hospital. But we believe if we bring this kind of doctor here and give them to high-quality medical equipment, we can improve the quality of the medical service, and people doesn't need to go outside for the treatment.
What about affordability? Because I try to shut my eyes and imagine myself at Nizamiye Hospital, not because something is really wrong with me, just for the hospitality.
Yeah.
That would cost a fortune, an arm and a leg.
So the medical sector is, not easy because, for example, now you made an investment. 5 years later, you must renew it again. So because of this, the government also cannot continue with this kind of investment in the world. Many countries, there's a bankruptcy because
so
of this
sector
problem.
has to deal with it.
So, but we believe this: if somebody needs the medical care, he must, find this treatment in Nigeria.
All right.
It's cheaper than the outside.
Than traveling, exactly. And of
Yes,
course,
it's
it prevents
totally
medical
cheaper
tourism,
than the outside.
which is more expensive. Very true. We need to wrap up because of time. I'd like to get to Dr. Tahir now. I want you to speak to a woman who is pregnant at the moment and probably having a critical pregnancy, a pregnancy with complications. Why would you want to refer the Nizamiye Hospital as the best place to have a baby, a healthy baby?
All right. The first thing is, I'm sure her first contact doctor is going to be a gynecologist. So she wouldn't have to wait for hours before she will see a specialist. That specialist will map out the management of that patient and follow up. The younger doctors will help in administering some of this medication. What that means is decision time is so short. An ability to pick any abnormality will now be very high. At the first contact, all the high risk will be identified, the high risk issues, and a plan how to go about it, how to sail through will be already on ground. Even to the extent of what kind of delivery is she likely going to have, what kind of care her baby is likely going to have. This decision can be made in less than 3 hours.
Fantastic. So I'm sure that those who are even planning to conceive can also begin to think of Nizamiye Hospital as the best place to have a healthy baby. I think we've completely run out of time, but Mr. Abubakar, your final words to Nigerians who want to patronize Nizamiye. Some people think it's for the rich, like Victor was trying to say. But
Actually,
please clear that.
You think I can afford it?
Yes, you can afford it because health is wealth, actually. So there is no amount that you can spend on health. Yes, people are saying, but actually in Nigeria, to maintain a hospital is not an easy job. So for that, to me, it's not expensive, because if you look at US, other developed countries, if you look at the healthcare system.
Sorry if I
it's
may
very
interrupt,
expensive.
Muhammad. Our experience during Corona,
10 seconds.
services, you have access to, you have the cash, you have the money, but you could not travel. And the service you need is not nearby.
All right.
Just imagine that situation.
Dr. Lawan Tahir, consultant specialist in pediatrics at Nizamiye Hospital. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you very much for
Good
having
Morning,
me.
Nigeria. Let me also thank Mohammed Abubakar, who is Director of Operations at Nizamiye Hospital. We thank you for your time and perspectives. And not forgetting Professor Ibrahim Yamnis, Medical Director at Nizamiye Hospital. It's been a pleasure hosting all three of you. And perhaps I'll just check in one of these days, like I said, for the hospitality, not because I'm sick.
Definitely not with your minimum wage. I need to advise her.
No, I'll just visit them. I'll just visit them.
All right, we need to go. Thank you.
I want to say something. We have the policy, if some people needs to help, we are ready.
To also
Money
help.
Is not, yes, in emergency
Money is not a
service.
priority. Fantastic. We need that. That's a fine way to end the conversation, by the way. So if you need help, of course, Nizamiye is willing to help.
Yeah, Ray, we've got to
And
go.
also provide health care. I'm Yan Ray John, living locked on the NTA.
And I'm Victor, as we will see you again tomorrow.